Welcome to day 2, vlogging every day, talking about film until I can quit my W-2 job. Um, so yesterday I figured out what the issue was. Well, yesterday I had an issue of my camera, my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 4K resolution, kept shooting in slow motion. This was already after I changed FPS, shutter speed. I was messing with all kinds of settings and techniques on there, and I think the thing that was messing me up was I had this switch on, and it was called off speed recording, but I don't know what that is. If there's any other film buffs out there or camera buffs, I'd love to figure out what off speed recording is and what it's used for. Also, I took a bunch of sample videos from shooting with 24 frames per second to 48 shutter speed. And then I would also list the ISO, the white balance, and then the gauge of camera or camera lens. But I didn't see too much of a difference between 24 frames per second to 30 frames per second to 60 frames per second. And the test was I had my son wave, and that motion blur right there was what I was tracking, but I couldn't see too much of a difference. I don't know this, but is there a difference between depth if something's closer, even though you're shooting it at a higher shutter speed? Do you still get the same amount of motion blur as opposed to something being farther away? With a higher shutter speed, you get less motion blur? I'm not sure. Again, any film buffs out there, I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Something that I really want to try in my filmmaking journey is I want to try the dolly zoom shot. I don't have a zoom per se. I saw that there are ways you could like manipulate the settings through Adobe Premiere to add that. It was something with aspect ratio. I have to look again. But I really want to try the dolly zoom shot. I think that'd be such a cool shot to master. But what's really cool about this is as I figure out areas that I'm lacking in film, it's getting me excited about learning. When I first started this film journey, I was up here like super excited. This is going to be great. It's going to be easy. I'm a natural storyteller. I can do this. And then you kind of get to the part where you're like, oh wow, like to be up here at the top, you really have to do so many things and be good at so many things. So as I was kind of coming around, I was like, dang, I have to learn cinematography. I have to learn the fundamentals of the camera. I have to learn lighting. I have to learn set, camera angles and frames and storytelling and script and production. And then my excitement kind of dropped down. And I think while I was at the bottom of that, I started realizing, oh, I'm going to go back to being a children's storybook author because that's something I've always wanted to do. I have a bunch of story ideas written down with the help of all this like AI image tools. Like I could crank books out. So then I started like getting excited about, oh, I could be a storybook author again and start pumping out a bunch of books. And then I realized I was doing exactly what Alex Hermosi says. I think it's like the Valley and Despairs. I forgot what it was called, but it's like you get super excited about something. You're like, oh yeah, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Wait, wow, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. You got to learn this. And then you take that dip. And then when you're at that dip is when you switch. And that's exactly what I did. I switched back to storybooks, and I'd be a storybook author. But I really want to be good at film. I want to be great at film. I have a goal right now. I want to work with Angel Studios. I'd love to film my own movie or my own story idea, and be able to work with Angel Studios on an original idea that I had, or if there's an original idea that they have or they're creating. I'd love to be a part of that. But so far, that's like a goal that I have. But at the end of the day, I really just want to be good. I want to be great, actually. Not good. The enemy of great is good. But I want to be great. I want to be great at film with aspect ratios, telling a story, invoking mood. I just want to have that storytelling power where you show, don't tell. And I really want that. So as I learned that filmmaking requires so many things that you need to learn and be good at, again, it made me feel intimidated. However, now I'm kind of approaching it with the mindset of, you know what? There's so much to learn that I really can just dedicate my life to this craft. And I think that'll be a life worth lived. Pursuing one goal that's so massive and has so many components to it, it really gives me the chance to learn, to grow, sharpen my tools, expand my tool belt. So some shots that I want to do. I want to do the dolly zoom shot. There was this really, I don't even know what the movie's called, but there was this really trippy mirror shot where this, I forgot what if it was a boy or girl. I want to say it was a girl, but she was running like towards the camera. She was running up the stairs towards the camera. Then she turns to her left, I believe, and she's like running down the hall. And then she like reaches for the camera and opens it up. And the whole time it was a mirror. It was a reflection of a mirror. I'd want to try that shot as well. I want to do some canted shots, some like tilted shots like this, and have it represent, you know, that character is like out of their mind a little bit. They're either intoxicated or inebriated. That's going to be obviously one of the easier shots to do. But I want it to be good, and I want it to make sense with the story. Last night when I was playing with my camera and trying to figure out the shutter speed and all that, my son was doing something. He was like moving his body around, and then he was like, we started joking around. He was charging up like Goku, and he was going Super Saiyan, and then, you know, he said, "Ah! Ah!" And as he was doing that, I got the camera, and I started shaking the camera like this. So he was like, "Ah! Ah!" And it started shaking, and in that moment, and it's so dumb, but in that moment, I was like, that, from what I did with the camera and an emotion, changed the narrative, or like how the viewer would feel to what that character was going through. And it's so small, it's so stupid, but it just felt good that I have that power to influence the story, and I'd like to keep that going. So today's day 2 of vlogging about film until I can quit my day job. I will vlog every day, and then I'll start doing one video per week. And I'm also thinking about YouTube Live. So if you guys have any experience with YouTube Live and film in terms of like what I could talk about in a YouTube Live, please let me know. I'm super clueless. I do want to know. But I mean, it is a lot of information to take in, so if y'all do start giving me some help or some advice, just be patient with me. I might not be as smart as you think I am, so please. Slow paces. Well, that's everything for today. So, you know, please tune in on my journey to be a filmmaker. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.